We are now joined by Bloomington Mayor Gene Winstead. Welcome, Mayor. Thanks for being here with us today.
Always good to be here.
Well, on March 19th, you, along with City Manager Mark Bernhardson, who we'll speak with later in the show, gave the 2014 State of the City address. So, Mayor Winstead, how is the state of the city?
Well, it's nice to have that speech and report in on what's going on in the city of Bloomington and the state of the city. And we're in pretty good shape. You know, it's there. And it's a city that we've all come to live in and love. And so, you know, we're always working to try and make it be as good as possible.
Absolutely. How long have you been in Bloomington, been involved in public office, been the mayor?
Well, I've lived in Bloomington since 1972. So what's that, 34 years or 44 years, I guess.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it's out there. And we've lived in our same home, raised our kids, been there for many, many years, became involved in the city in the 80s, became an elected official. So I've served as an elected official for about 20 years now and served as mayor for 14 years.
So lots that you obviously love about Bloomington.
Sure.
Obviously, Mayor Winstead has a lot of reasons to love Bloomington. That's why he has stayed and been involved with the city as long as he has. Let's find out some reasons you love Bloomington.
It's fun here.
Senior programs.
I love my teacher.
What I love about Bloomington is all my students.
The arts. In Bloomington, there are sports, there's music, there's drama, there's dance.
Thank you. I love my customers. I love the small business support.
What do I love about Bloomington? My friends.
Our friends.
Bloomington is home.
It's great to have a place for our dogs to be able to run and play and not be leashed up.
Pretty amazing, actually.
Fly like a bird!
This year's theme was the art of creating community. Why don't you tell me a bit about the choice for that theme this year?
Well, this year's theme, we attempted to describe really what it takes to make Bloomington a complete community, all that it needs to be, and the different elements that have to come together to make Bloomington the fine city that it is. With that, there's a little bit of art to it. It's not just science. It's not just roads and bridges and buildings and you know, just zoning and different development, but there's more to it. And so part of it would be placemaking and the way we want to maintain and keep our city, the vision we have for it. And so the art portion of it we wanted to describe a little bit, and I think we were able to do that.
Absolutely. Bloomington Theater and Arts Center's Executive Director, Andrea Specht, will explain a bit more about creative placemaking in Bloomington.
Creative placemaking is increasingly a buzzword in the arts and also urban design communities, but really it's a pretty simple concept. It's a strategy to use the arts and artists to make a place lively and vibrant, to make it come alive. Bloomington does have a great track record of placemaking already. The best example that I can think of is what has happened at the Civic Plaza, where the arts have been used as a way to build community, to draw people in, to introduce members of the community to one another who might not otherwise mix and mingle, like the farmers market at the Civic Plaza, the wonderful art that happens inside the building, as well as artistic performances outside and art on the grounds. This is a way in which the arts are really creating a vibrant, wonderful facility and location where all kinds of residents can come together and celebrate what it means to be a member of this community. Bloomington Theater and Arts Center partnered with the City of Bloomington to apply for a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts. And we received the grant, and the grant will help us over the next 2 years work together with some other key partners in the community to really harness the tools of creative placemaking to help bring the South Loop to life. What if we added a little fun to everyday objects? What if blank surfaces were canvases? What if the landscaping became a source of surprise and delight? What if art were one of the most memorable parts of a South Loop visit? What if we invited and encouraged artists to add value, life, and vibrancy to the South Loop? What if art invited strangers to interact with it and each other? What if sculpture was a part of the South Loop experience? In the combination of the South Loop master plan and creative placemaking, we have a wonderful opportunity, truly a once-in-a-generation opportunity, to bring the richness of our regional arts community together with an urban, vital vision for the South Loop and create something that's truly extraordinary.
Exciting things in the future for Bloomington, that's for sure. One of those possibly being a new community center. Tell me a bit about that, Mayor Winstead.
Well, community center, yes, it's something that we've been kind of thinking about for a lot of years, what should be done, what could be done, because we've seen our existing facility, the Creekside Community Center, really showing its age, and there's some issues there, and some things are going to have to be done to update it, or is it something we should look at to maybe do a new community center throughout the community? So it's kind of interesting at this point in time with our new city council in place, many new faces on the city council. We brought this subject up, and so we're really going to be looking into it on what we should do as a community center. We've given staff direction and to kind of look at a needs assessment and a utilization study to see what could be done, what should be done, and then we'll figure out where, what, how, or even if we should go forward with a new community center.
So obviously in the very beginning stages, but exciting nonetheless. As the community continues to build and grow in Bloomington, there are some exciting advancements in redevelopment. One of those areas being the South Loop District. Tell me a bit about some of the things we saw happening there this past year.
Well, over in South Loop, of course, the area south of the airport, on the end of the light rail train, the end there, with the Mall of America. So we're seeing a lot of different things starting to happen now. First of all, we started some of the improvements to the infrastructure, to the road system, to facilitate now some of the growth that is going to be taking place over there. Some of the things on the books, some of the things taking place now, a new housing development. Lennar, more than 400 units of housing being built. They're in the ground, and that'll be about a year's worth of construction. We've got obviously the expansion of the Mall of America. You know, $325 million worth of expansion that's going to involve a couple of towers. There'll be some more underground parking. There'll be some additional retail and restaurant space, but there'll be a new JW Marriott hotel being built there, as well as an office tower that is planning on being developed. So we've got that going. Then you've got, with the expansion of Lindau Lane, we've got another hotel that's being proposed for the area, and they're planning on starting their construction. You get over to the Bloomington Central Station area in the South Loop, and you see here again, another hotel, a pretty large one, is coming in right there at the Bloomington Central Station Park, right next to the light rail. So there's just things happening there in that area, in housing, in hotels, in office, business, you name it. It's all coming out of the ground over there.
It is. It's very exciting to see this redevelopment kind of start to move forward, and you can actually see the development happen before our eyes. So another fantastic development potential area in the city is the Penn American District. People are excited. Phase 2 is underway right now. What's going on there?
Well, that Penn American District, that's really a gem. That area is really adjacent to two of the busiest freeways in the region. Just a lot of traffic there, and that's a great employment corridor all along 494. There's the second largest employment corridor in the metropolitan area. So there's a lot happening there. But what we're excited about is the next phase development that's coming there, and that is going to be an 80,000 square foot development, and it's going to involve a funny thing, another hotel. A small hotel there, but it'll be kind of an extended stay in a portion of a hotel that's new to the Hilton chain. Also, it's going to have a restaurant, a 200-seat restaurant. There'll be some mixed-use retail going in there, so different things happening within that site. And then, too, there's another building being built there that's going to house a grocery store, and it's called Fresh Time. And that grocery store is based on the theme of a farmer's market. So it's something that I think will really be embraced by the people of the community. and a little new theme to a grocery store, and I think it's needed.
We do love our farmers market.
We do
here.
love our farmers market, and someone figured out a way to do it in the form of a grocery store. So.
Well, wonderful. Well, we'd like to thank Mayor Winstead for being here. Don't go anywhere. In a moment, we'll be joined by City Manager Mark Bernhardson to further discuss the 2014 Bloomington State of the City. Welcome back. We'd like to welcome City Manager Mark Bernhardson to this show. Thanks for joining me today.
Kaylin, thank you very much.
Well, this year's State of the City presentation really centered around what makes a community special. And after looking at the results of a 2013 citizen survey, do people seem to love living in Bloomington?
They certainly do. 95% rated Bloomington as excellent or good as a place to live. And 94% of them rated it that way as a place they would recommend to live. With 90% saying that the overall quality of life here is good or excellent. All of these ratings were much above those of the overall 500 communities that this survey had been taken with, and above the ranking of the 21 peer communities that are much like Bloomington. And it's very helpful in the art of guiding us towards our vision is that we will again be doing that this year.
Well, one thing that is sure to really please citizens is a financially sound city government. How are we doing in that department, City Manager?
For the 10th year in a row, Bloomington has received the highest bond ratings from all 3 rating agencies. Out of more than 19,000 municipalities in the United States that seek ratings for Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch, we're only one of 27 that has 3 AAAs across the country.
Well, during the State of the City, you let us know that maintaining city services at an affordable rate was also something that residents found to be very important. Expand on how that's being achieved in Bloomington.
Because we are financially strong, we're able to continue to create a successful community by providing the essential and quality of life services and having the financial flexibility to act when the opportunities present themselves. The cost of all the services for the owner of a median value home is $67.82 per month. And so how is that value provided? By ensuring that we are well protected with essential services like police and fire protection and emergency response, and public works snow plowing and street maintenance. This also includes continuing the city's pavement management program and helps to address our aging infrastructure in a cost-effective manner. Altogether, these make up 70% of the property taxes that residents pay to the city.
It's amazing, $67 a month for all those things. The health and well-being of residents is also something of high importance, and it's really crucial in a high quality of life. So one way we're addressing that in 2014 is through some new biking and walking trails. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, on the east side, a 7-mile-long paved multi-use regional trail that will start at Lake Nokomis Parkway in Minneapolis and come down through Richfield to the Minnesota River in Bloomington will be connected as well to our 86th Street bike lanes. Construction is anticipated to begin this summer and completed by mid-2015. The trail is a partnership of Three Rivers Park District together with the cities of Minneapolis, Richfield, and the city of Bloomington. On the west side, the Highland Park Trail is an off-road multi-use trail along Bush Lake Road, West 106th and Bloomington Ferry Road. It will connect to the existing trails in Highland Lake Park Reserve down to those in the Minnesota Valley State Trail and Bloomington Ferry Trailhead that will also connect into trails that are being developed in Scott County. Construction is anticipated to begin in late spring and be completed by this fall. The city is also has the Long Meadow Lake Bridge project, and the consultant has been hired. The project will be a full-scope rehabilitation of the bridge structure that will minimize future maintenance costs. The project bidding is expected to occur in 2015 with the goal of the bridge opening in early 2016. And a special thanks to the legislature and especially Representative Ann Lincheski for securing the state funding mechanism for this bridge. In addition, around that bridge, there'll be several other potential projects in the vicinity, including the reconstruction of Old Cedar Avenue from Old Shakopee Road to the south, reconstruction of that existing parking lot that is there, along with a potential trail along Old Cedar Avenue that will connect to the 86th Street to the bridge.
Making connections is obviously very important, and I have to tell you, the buzz that I've heard about that bridge reopening has just been so fantastic. On a final note, I've heard that this year's presentation was extremely creative, and people really responded to that. Explain this unique ending a little bit for me.
Well, as you know, the theme this year was the art of creating community. And so to weave that in, we had an ending that we asked the Hillcrest community students to visualize telling us what the community means to them. The result was an artful learning mural. They used the hawk, which is Hillcrest mascot, as a symbol of their community, and painted what was special to them. The goal was to teach the students about community and to let them know they were part of something larger. It took the contributions of many to create the finished piece, but all roles were essential, no matter how small or more significant, to produce this end result, just as it takes many people with various talents, skills, ideas, passions, and diverse backgrounds to make for a thriving Bloomington. And here's the end result of their work.
I'd like to thank Bloomington City Manager Mark Bernhardson for being here today. Now let's end with what the students had to say about community in their own words.
Community means art. Community means my pet. I drew about community festivals. I did HC with a heart around it because I really like this school. Community means my neighbors. Respect and consideration. To me, community is colorful. Community means my basketball team. Community means all the parks. It means family, friends, and learning.